my vlog. It's been a little while since I've been on here. I just been processing a lot, just been thinking about what I want to do here, what I want the future of my vlog to be, and really what I wanted my next video to be. And then I got stuck in kind of a overthinking, cyclical mindset, and I couldn't break it, and so I just needed to make a video and break it. So here I am. I think it's been like 3 weeks since I've uploaded a video, and I wanted my next video to be either Addie's birth story or my postpartum experience. But really what's going to happen is, first of all, I need to wait a little bit for Addie's birth story. I started telling it, and there's just still some stuff I need to work through before I've told it to a lot of people, so it's not like it's something secret or anything like that. It's just that I want the video I make for it to be different, and I'm just not in like the most positive headspace right now. I'm moving towards a really positive and like good direction, and that's really what this video is about. But when it comes to her birth story, there's still just a lot of feelings, and so when I talk about it, it can kind of seem almost too negative. And this is me just being honest about it. Not everybody's birth story is beautiful, and not everybody's birth story is fondly remembered. So, and I'm just coming to terms with that. I'm coming to terms with what the actual story is, and how I really feel about it, and feeling okay telling it that way. So that's gonna have to wait. Her birth story is gonna have to wait. And then the postpartum experience, it's just not one video. And you know what? I'm in it. Like, I'm in the postpartum experience right now. Still, postpartum is not like 3 months and you're done, or go to your 6-week appointment and you're not postpartum anymore. It's not true. I'm postpartum still currently with my almost 8-month-old. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make videos based on what I'm dealing with, based on what I'm going through that week, or just process stuff with you, because really that's gonna show you the postpartum experience. That is going to be the realest I think I can be. And yeah, so this video is titled "Why I Quit 2 Jobs in 2 months." Okay, so the real story here is, it wasn't technically 2 months. I wasn't like, bam, I quit, bam, I quit. You got to be dramatic in the titles. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure this whole YouTube game out. Anyways, but I quit 2 jobs really close to each other. And I'm not gonna use their names because and I'm not doing that because they did anything wrong. I'm gonna put that out there right here, right now. Both the jobs that I was working were great jobs, and I thought that they would fit me perfectly for this season for different reasons, and it just didn't work out that way. So first, I was working let's back up. I needed to get a job because we moved down the mountain, and in Redlands, which is where we live, in Redlands, it is extremely expensive, extremely expensive, way more than what we were paying in the mountain. So Dylan has a very well-paying job. We were very blessed when he got his full-time position, but it doesn't go very far when you move down the hill and it's more expensive. So we both agreed that I would get a part-time job, and I got 3 at this time that I needed to get a job. I got three. One was working at a kids boutique in Redlands. The other was working for a local tea company. And the third was working for a company or an organization that I worked for many years before. So at the time, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do, so I accepted all three. And was like, sure, I can do this with my baby and moving and, postpartum issues. I can do all these things. Wrong. So, but I wanted to see what I could do. I wanted to see, most importantly, I wanted to see what actually worked for me in this new season with this new life. I'm different now. And so, I don't necessarily think managing a coffee shop again is in my future, but that's the last thing I did, and I did it for 3 years. And so what do I want to do now, So I tried jumbling and juggling these 3 jobs. Really, it was just 2 at a time. So I was working the kids boutique and trying to start with the tea company, but kept pushing it off a little bit because, again, I wasn't sure which one I wanted to choose or which ones were going to. We're trying to calculate what would be enough for this season and what we actually need me to make financially. So juggling, and then I went ahead and there was 1 week where I did all 3 jobs. I had 2 shifts at the kids boutique. I had a meeting with the tea company, and then I had training with the other organization that I worked for years, all in 1 week. And it was crazy. And that was the week where I was like, you know what, one's gotta give, something's gotta give. So I decided the kids boutique would go. And the reason the big thing I loved about that job was that I could bring Addie with me. I just strap her into the carrier and take her on in. But at that time was when we were sleep training her. And so even though I could bring her to work, we decided we were going to be like pretty on it with a sleep schedule for her. And so not even that part of it worked. And I just realized, I'm not super big on retail. That's not where I want to be and what I want to be doing. And yeah, so I want to put my energy elsewhere. So I decided to leave that position. I still frequent that shop as a customer though, because they've got the cutest kid stuff. So good vibes there. But then I was like, okay, so now I'm going to try the organization that I love and have worked for years. And this tea company, because the tea company has just been very, very flexible with me and wanting to, make the office kid friendly so I could bring Addie in. Most of the work I can do from home, just seemed good. And then with the organization, I was just going to work 1 to 2 days a week just for that extra income. And it would almost be like my time to me, my drive up there, my drive back, having someone watch Addie would be really good for me, because I am needing a break here and there, and that's okay to admit. And so I thought those 2 jobs would be perfect for me in this season. So I started doing both of them, and I just quickly realized I was having trouble doing both well. I am probably going to regret saying this later, but as Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec says, don't half-ass 2 things, whole-ass 1 thing. Excuse my language, but that's really what came to mind when I really started to think about it. And I wanted to push myself though, because I wanted to quit right as I started, because I was like, dude, this is finding childcare, organizing people, or it didn't feel right for me. A lot of working moms do it, and they're amazing. They're amazing. You're amazing no matter what you do. But arranging childcare while, getting yourself to work and then coming home after work and caring for your child after you just had a long day, it's something else. And so I wanted to quit earlier, but thought that I couldn't, and thought that I needed to push myself, and partially that was true. Partially what I wanted to do, I wanted to stop because I was struggling heavily with my anxiety. And so I was giving into that, So I'm really glad that I pushed past that. But then childcare started to become even more of an issue. And so once some plans fell through, and then I received a little more incentive at the tea company, I realized, you know what? Like, I love both of these companies. First of all, I love them. And I love the organization that I worked for so many years. But for who I am in this season, it just doesn't work. I can't bring Addie into work at that organization. It's not that they wouldn't want me to. It's just that it can't be done. It's not that type of workplace, and that's okay. And that was okay for me, when it was just me and Dylan working, when we were living down here in Redlands before. And that was okay with me as a single woman, living by myself. That was okay for me in every other season except for now. And so I decided to drop the second position and just go full force with one job. And this job, I can work from home. I can bring Addie in if I want to. Or it's going to be easier to get someone to watch her because the place is, it'll be easier because I won't be so stressed if someone isn't able to watch her, It's a little more flexible. It's a little more fluid, and that works for me so well with who I am now, because I'm also working heavily through postpartum anxiety. And if you don't know what that is, or if you don't even understand anxiety to begin with, it's unnecessary fear. Normal fear is when there is actually something happening right then and there, that calls for you to act, that calls for you to be scared. Anxiety brings up those thoughts of fear and being scared and worry, and when nothing is happening. And postpartum anxiety, and this can even happen with normal anxiety, but I've noticed that I've become very obsessive over fears and these anxieties. And when I was, driving Addie all over the place and switching her car seat in and out, and leaving her places, I was really, really suffering. And I pushed through that, and I'm so thankful. That was really 1 to 2 weeks of like heavy anxiety. But then she had her really bad night of teething, and Dylan pulled me aside and was like really pointing out how severe my anxiety has been, surrounded around Addie. And that was right around the same time that I figured out that I should probably scale back on the amount of work and pressure I'm putting on myself, because right now my number one job is Addie. Taking care of Addie, and being her mother. And in order to do that, I need to be okay. And if I'm stretching myself so thin, unnecessarily, really, I cannot be okay. I can't take the time to really assess what's going on. I can't put energy into getting help. I don't even have the time to get help if I'm working 3 jobs or 2 jobs even. And so that realization of like, okay, wow, I really am struggling more than I'm letting people know, including Dylan. I hadn't really had a serious talk with him about how hard all the jobs were, and driving Addie all around and figuring out childcare, and then just all the in-between stuff too, and then just being her mom. When we got home, I was so tired and so exhausted from worrying about her all day that I didn't feel like I could do it at the end of the day. And that's really hard to admit. That's really hard to say out loud. But once I did it, it felt so freeing, and it almost felt like it immediately helped a bit. Like, obviously didn't take all my anxieties and my worries and my serious struggle away, but once I started talking more about how severe it was, it just like opened a door, and yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I needed to try those jobs out. Each one of those jobs showed me something different about myself, something different about Addie. It allowed me to push myself in certain ways that I wouldn't have otherwise, honestly, because anxiety does that to you. It keeps you put. It lies to you, and it tells you that you can't do certain things because what if this happens, and because what if that happens. And because I pushed myself to do both of those jobs, I pushed myself. I pushed myself very positively in my mothering capabilities, in my capabilities in general. And that's really amazing, and I'm extremely proud of myself. And I'm extremely proud of Addie also, just how well she did in each situation. And so moving forward, I will be working with this tea company, and really it also opens up time for me to actually do this vlog, to like actually do it. So that's amazing, and that was another reason for it too. It's like, what do I want to put my energy towards right now? What will really help me and ultimately help my family? My family will benefit from a mom and a wife that is taking care of herself, and that's really cool. That's really cool to feel like I am actually doing that now. So moving forward, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm also seeking out counseling again, which is really exciting. We have to wait for the dust to settle a little bit with our finances, and see how that works out, because I want to actively seek a counselor who has specialty in postpartum disorders, because like I said, I need to take care of me so that I can take care of my family, and that's what we're gonna do moving forward. So that's why I quit 2 jobs in 2 months. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel the need to explain myself to anybody. I felt the need to share what I was dealing with you guys. So if you can relate to that, that's cool, because you're not alone. And also, it won't always feel that way. You won't always feel like you're kind of crumbling under the pressure. And if you are feeling overwhelmed, really look at what you're giving your energy to and what you're choosing to invest in. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something bad. these jobs were awesome and I met really cool people there and I loved my time there, but you know, it wasn't going to be good moving forward. And so look at that, you know, look at your life. Look at what you're doing and what you're spending your time on, and maybe some things need to give, you know, maybe some of the things you're juggling you need to let them fall, you know, and that's okay. You're not wrong for trying. You're actually so strong for trying. Felt really bad for like going back to this position that I've gone back to like 4 different times with this organization. I've worked with them on and off since 2014 and they're just so gracious and so flexible and so understanding, you know. But I felt bad. I was like, dang, why did I even go through all this just to quit like 2 months later, you know? And it's like, well, I needed to show myself that I could do it, first of all, and I needed to try it out and see if it did work, because if it did, then cool, like that's really good for my family. And if it didn't, I know now, you know, I know now that a very structured normal work schedule does not work for me right now. And it's so healthy to just say this doesn't work and then move on. So yeah, I am really excited for what's to come, to have some more time with Addie, and I'm also still going to have people watch her, which so that I can, you know, dedicate time to my current job, and maybe so that I can still continue to work through, you know, some thoughts, some feelings, and work towards that healthiness, you know. And sometimes that means getting a break, and asking for help. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I'm really thankful that I'm finally just putting a video out there. It's unstructured, it's just me talking, and I like that. I think it's more real, more conversational, and the lighting changed drastically. But I need to go get Addie from her nap, and I think I'll cap it here. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, maybe continue on with this journey with me and my family. We're just figuring things out, and I know you are too, so hopefully this helps a little bit so that you know you're not alone. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.